You've probably seen the trailers and you know that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is coming to theaters, and you might be a little bit leery for a couple different reasons. But guys, I'm here to tell you I am one of the biggest Spider-Man fans you've ever met before, and this is my favorite take on the Spider-Man mythology and an amazing, amazing adventure for this classic character.
My name's Miles Morales.
Hey kid, you're like me. How?
For starters, the main story in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse focuses on Miles Morales, who is a different person to wear the mask. And that's really exciting because Miles has not had his time on screen before. Almost every other Spider-Man movie has focused on Peter Parker. By telling the story of Miles, it's shedding light on a whole nother side of the Spider-Man origin story. Second, Peter Parker is in this movie, and that's important to people who grew up on Spider-Man. Also, it's really cool that the version of Peter Parker that we find in this movie is very different from any of the ones that we've seen on screen before. The directors have said that they've taken elements from Tobey Maguire, from Andrew Garfield, a little bit of Tom Holland, but he's voiced by Jake Johnson from New Girl, and there's a lot of his humor involved in the creation of this Peter Parker.
Watch and learn, kid. I'll quiz you later.
So I think the way that he plays off of Miles Morales is, again, something that we've never seen before on screen.
This fry is your universe. It's soggy, it's weird, it's gross. And this delicious normal fry is my universe.
Okay, here's where things get really exciting because this new movie also introduces the multiverse. There are essentially multiple universes that are coexisting at the same time, and each of them has their own version of Spider-Man. In one of them, Gwen Stacy gets bitten by the radioactive spider, so she becomes Spider-Gwen. In another one, set in the 1930s, we have SpiderMan Noir, who's actually voiced by Nick Cage.
Wherever I go, the wind follows. And the wind, it smells like rain.
And then in a totally bizarre universe, we have a pig that was bitten by a radioactive spider, and he becomes SpiderHam.
It can get weirder.
And in the course of this animated movie, all of these characters come together to help Miles and Peter on an adventure, and just to see them all come together for one mission is something that's so unique and different to this world.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
One other really cool element of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is that they're able to use villains who we have not seen on screen before. Some of them are repeats. Kingpin is a big villain in this one, and obviously he was a big part of the Daredevil Netflix series, but we're able to see some characters like Tombstone, who was a big part of the new Spider-Man PlayStation game, a variation on Dr. Octopus. The last reason why you should be super excited for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is just because it uses the humor of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, two writer-directors who you might be familiar with because of their takes on the Lego Movie and also the 21 Jump Street franchise. These guys know how to take a property that might seem overly familiar, but put a fresh spin on it and find what's really funny about an inherent situation. So I totally understand the fact that you might not be super excited for yet another Spider-Man movie, especially one that's animated, but I think that the animation really frees up the directors to be as creative as possible, and there's a reason why critics are losing their minds for this movie. So go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse once it reaches theaters. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. For more videos like this and for more content on Spider-Man, be sure to subscribe to our videos below.
This was never your city. It's mine.
If I don't destroy the collider, none of us will have a home to go home to.
Remember, what makes you different
Let's go!
is what makes you Spider-Man.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?